Morning, everybody. Mr. Dan here. I'm going to try to speak up over the locusts are out in force this morning here in New Jersey. Here we have the Minecraft cart and pig man. Let's give a little trial run of my scale quarter-mile track, which I fashioned together. We're getting there. We're getting there. Had some positive developments and ideas yesterday. Let me give it a shot. Did not turn on the finish line. Okay, here we go.
Hot Wheels racers, pick your lane!
I've decided to go with 3 lanes, even though I spent a lot of time and effort gluing these connectors I got from 3D Bot Maker onto the bottom of this piece. I'm going to go every other lane and maybe make one lane at the end, like a fun lane. It kind of curves out to the side. I don't know. I'm playing around with that idea. But I'm going to go every other lane. At our Hot Wheels Club, we do 4 cars in a heat. And the first and second car go to the next round. So I think what we'll do is maybe we'll have just have 2 heats. So you've got, each car has 2 chances to go to the next round. Or maybe not. Maybe you just get knocked out. But let's try it again now that it's on. And by the way, this is 1, 2, 3 6-lane raceways fashioned together, or parts of 3 6-lane raceways. This is 13 feet right here, these 3 pieces, and that extra foot down there equals 13 about. And then the remaining length comes from these tracks here, which can be kind of problematic. And I actually went with 3 lanes because they kind of push each other. I know a lot of people do it. Ghost Jerker does it. It can be done. I just decided to go with 3 lanes. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I had to, actually we'll get to that in a minute. Let's run it again. Run it again. Alright, now notice, if you can see in the shadows and harsh sunlight here, this is lane 5. So let's listen to what happens at the end. Ah! Okay, still good.
Winner! Lane 5!
Alright, lane 5, but if you look, that is, okay, there's the track. Lane 2. So this piece here is actually flipped around. It's turned around, okay? And I'm using this as an ending piece. Got one of those pool noodles at the end there to cushion the landing. But there you see I've was playing around with how to relabel the finish line. I'm not going to go with the duct tape. That's a duct tape one. That was a project in and of itself. But I'm going to go with something really light, even if I have to grab an old sticker and just take a Sharpie and redo the numbers, because I don't want the duct tape to slow the cars down. That's how much of a nut I am. But yes, this piece here is turned around, and if anyone's familiar with how this connects, you can't actually do that. So I had to get out the Sonic Crafter, which is like a Dremel type tool, and go to town on the edge of this. I'm going to go over here while I sneeze. Okay. So here's what it looks like. It's got this little notch here. Okay, so I had to take the finish line and cut a kind of a diagonal section out of it so I could turn it around both ways. This is actually going to give me the option of using 2 finish lines. Okay, just for experimentation, because you know what many people have noticed when they watch videos is that the winner here, the first car that gets to here, will often lose steam on the straightaway. And I know Ghost Jerker's commented on this many times. You know, some of them just can't maintain the speed. So it's going to be interesting to experiment that way. Getting back to the connectors and the overall length, it's 20.6 feet for a scale quarter mile. And I had to cut these tracks here, little bits of tracks to make up the difference. On this one here, I had this piece down at the end, but the Minecraft cart tipped over 1 out of 10 times. Again, I'm a nut about this, constantly experimenting and playing around with it. We've got some ducks flying overhead. So I decided to put this little piece up here. You know, I wanted to go with the fewest seams possible. And if I can pick up even longer pieces of track in the future, I could always redo this. But every lane will have an equal number of seams. You know, obviously any kind of friction will slow the cars down. Trying to make this as equal as possible. But let's take a look. What I did is I just cut. I have like a bandsaw type saw. It's not actually a bandsaw. But each one was a little different, because these pieces of track, you can line up 10 of them and the seams might not line up. You'll have some pieces that are a little longer with each other. So each one of these pieces goes with a certain lane. And I actually forget if this is going to be lane 1 or lane 3. I'm going to have to experiment again. But I simply cut it and then took a soldering tool, soldering iron, and burned a hole. Looks a little sloppy right now, but I burned a hole so I can put a connector through there. So rather than have this piece at the end, where what happened is, for some reason, yeah, the flat, that's what it was. The flat, there was a little bit of a bump here. So I just decided to use this up there. So it's coming along. Just wanted to kind of give you some behind the scenes. I actually have a 4th 6-lane Raceway still in the box. I resisted breaking that one out, because really, what could I get out of it? I can get an extra one of these, so I can get an extra 4 feet. I would still need some of this track to, you cannot repurpose the, at least without the major modification, which I didn't feel like doing. You can't really repurpose the first piece, which is a nice 4 feet, I think, because of the starting line. And then these pieces here, you can if you want, but if you try to flatten these two out, I think that's 2 feet. That would have helped. There's actually, this is designed to come down at an angle, and I've actually had to angle this a little more, but this is designed to come down at an angle. If you flatten this piece out, there's a little bump here, and cars that have a low profile will kind of drag right here. I've seen this in other videos that people have done this, and so you don't want that. So you really can't, if you want to be absolutely fair or an absolute maniac about these things like I am, you can't actually flatten this out. Now the reason I had to angle this a little more is because this piece is actually turned around too, 180 degrees. So I had to take the Sonicrafter to this, cut out all of that, cut notches here so it would fit in, and having this downward angle kind of helps it fit into place. Because I want everything to be equal here. I don't want one lane to have more of a bump than another lane. And the other thing I realized is I'm going to have something under here if I'm going to make this a portable track. As you can see, 20.6 feet, a little bit longer for my patio, so I'm going to have to get some wood and make this, get some lumber and turn this into a project, really. But I'd like to be able to have this become portable at some point. And you never know what kind of surface you're going to be on, so I'm going to have to bring some shims with me and some levels, and it's going to be, it's an ongoing project, but hopefully I can get some footage later today when Harry wakes up, and we'll see if we can actually edit a video together out of this. Alright guys, thanks a lot.